Okay, so today's lesson is 4.6, equations with fractions. You'll find this direction, solve, write each answer in simplest form. So let's look at problem number 1. Number 1 says x minus 4 is equal to 2/4. Okay, so we don't ever subtract in algebra, so you change your subtraction sign to addition. Do the inverse of positive 1/4, which is negative 1/4. Make your line. So this is your algebra that you've learned. To get rid of the negative 1/4, you have to add 1/4 on both sides of the equation. Okay, you have a positive 1/4 and negative 1/4, that cancels out. And you're left with x on this side equals, the denominators are the same, so you don't have to do the setup, so you just have to add. 2 plus 1 is 3. And your denominator stays the same, which is 4. Let's look at problem number 2. See if you can do this on your own, and then push play when you're ready. All right. So the inverse of positive 1/3 is negative 1/3. So you're going to subtract 1/3 on both sides. This cancels out, and you're left with g equals. Now you look at your denominator. 6 and 3, they're different, so you have to do your setup. So you have your multiplication, your line, equals, equals, and your line. Common denominator for 6 and 3 is 6. 6 goes into 6 once. 3 goes into 6 twice. Multiply across. 5 times 1 is 5. 1 times 2 is 2. And looking here, we are subtracting, so I'm going to put a subtraction sign. 5 minus 2 is 3, and your denominator is 6. But that is not reduced to its lowest term, so you have to divide top and bottom by 3, and you get the answer of 1/2. Okay, let's look at problem number 3. Same thing as problem number 2. The inverse, do not change this to an improper fraction. Keep it as a mixed number. So the inverse of positive 4/7 is negative 3 4/7. So you can do that on both sides. This cancels out, and you're left with w equals. Okay, look at your denominators. They're different, so you have to do your setup. Bring over my whole number. Okay, looking at 14 and 7, the common denominator they have is 14. 14 goes into 14 once, 7 goes into 14 twice. Multiply across, 3 times 1 is 3, 4 times 2 is 8. Okay, and we are subtracting. So if you have 3 minus 8, you can't do that, so you have to borrow. So the 5 changes to a 4. This 3, you have to add. Remember, your denominator plus the numerator. So 14 plus 3 is 17. 17 minus 8 is 9. Denominator stays the same as 14. And 4 minus 3 is 1. So your answer is 1 9/14. Okay, let's look at problem number 4. So problem number 4 is 1/6 p is equal to 2. A number next to a variable means multiplication. So the inverse of multiplication is division. So you're going to divide, and you look at the number that is next to the variable is 1/6, so you know you're going to divide by 1/6 on both sides of the equation. So now let's look at this side first. So the first number stays the same, 1/6. Your division changes to multiplication. Once you change your division to multiplication, the second number becomes its reciprocal, so 6/1. And the p stays the same. Now let's look at this one. First number stays the same, and to make a whole number a fraction is 2/1. Your division changes to multiplication, and you do the reciprocal, 6/1.
Turner, please report to the front office. Jalen Turner, please report to the front office.
This cancels out. You're left with p equals, and you multiply across. 2 times 6 is 12/1, and that equals 12. Number 5, example 5. See if you can do this one on your own, and then push record when you're ready. So it's 3k is equal to 1/2. So you should have known that you're going to divide, because that's the inverse of multiplication, and this is divided by the whole number 3, or 3 over 1. You can do it. Okay, so the first one stays the same. Change your division to multiplication. Since this is 3 over 1, the reciprocal is 1/3, and k equals, first fraction stays the same, division turns to multiplication, and this turns into 1/3. This cancels out, and you're left with k equals 1/6, because you multiply those out. All right, problem 6 is 7/9 p is equal to 1 3/4. See if you can solve this on your own, and then when you're ready, push play. So you should have known that you're going to divide by 7/9 on both sides. Okay, first fraction stays the same. Division turns into multiplication. Do the reciprocal.
Christian Rangle, please report to the front office. Christian
You're going to
Rangle,
take
please
the mixed
report to the
number
front office.
and turn it into an improper fraction by doing the circle of fun, which is 7/4. Change your division to multiplication, and do the reciprocal of 9/7. Cross this out, and p is equal to, now look, can you reduce diagonally? Well, 7s can reduce, so 7 goes into 7 once, and then multiply across. 1 times 9 is 9, 4 times 1 is 4. Now, you can't keep this as an improper fraction because you started this with a mixed number, so now you have to divide. 4 goes into 9 twice, which is 8. Your remainder is 1, so your answer is 2 1/4.